My name is Marjorie Stebbing. I was born on the 31st of July, 1927, and I'm 93 now in a bit. What didn't I do? I worked at the income tax until I got married, and then they wouldn't let women. This is way back, 67 years we had, and he's been gone 8, so he was Royal Navy. I picked him up on Granville Street with my 3 girlfriends, and he had 3 boyfriends. Brought him home, meet my mom and dad. Two visits later, they left on a aircraft carrier that was built in Seattle and given to the Brits in the war. And he was out east on that. But he'd been on other things before, and I didn't think he'd ever come back. Poor guy. Brought back American soldiers to return the ship to the States down in Virginia. Phoned my mother, who was hard of hearing, and he had originally said, I'm coming up to see if Marjorie and I want to get married. She mistook it, thought he said, I'm coming up to marry Marjorie. Well, the poor guy got off the train, and I had to tell him that I'd had a shower. The girls at work had given me a shower. He says, oh, don't you bathe? We really knew each other. We'd seen each other 3 times, all together. And so we get home, and my mother's got the church book, the license, like she wanted to get rid of me, I think. But he was there. He got on the 16th, and we were married on the 19th. And my mom had everything. I don't know how she did it. We didn't have any money at all. My dad was sick a lot and that. But she did it, pulled it off. And the night before we got married, he said, my mother never left us alone for a minute. I don't think I even got to kiss him more than twice before we got married. And he says, do you want to go through with it? Do you want to get married? And I said, oh, I will if you want to. So we did, and we got to know each other. And we had 2 wonderful little boys, and he was a great guy, great guy. He couldn't have a job right away because he was a British vet, not a Canadian. They allowed him to get demobbed on the island, and he tried to get jobs, but our guys got him first, which is normal when you come, coming back home. You expect to get a little bit for being overseas, and then he liked the service, so he finally said to me, he got a job at the province as a proofreader, but it was on strike, and when they quit the strike, they had to let him go. They were wonderful. Gave him $500 bonus because he was really good at his job, and then told him if he went to Hamilton, they would get on the newspaper there because he had joined the union. And I said, I don't want to go to Hamilton. So he said he had joined the Air Force. I can't remember what they call it, but they went out to Sea Island, and he liked the service, and he got beautiful uniforms. And so he said, how about if I join the Air Force? And I said, oh, whatever you want, And he did, and 6 months later, the kids and I joined him, and we were traveling ever since. Been all over. 3 years in England, so parents got to see the kids. 5 in France and 5 in Germany, and then he got too old. Being a service in the wartime, he was older than most of the guys. The wives of the COs always wanted him carrying the flag in the parades because he had more medals than anybody had.